WBFR, Playhouse of the Air, and our sponsors present a story of suspense and mystery entitled The 39 Steps. Each week at this hour, we invade your living rooms, providing the radio holds up, and bring you exciting stories of the strange and unusual. Dark and compelling yarns culled from the four corners of the world, bringing murder back into the home, where it belongs. Tonight, we present a tale immortalized on the celluloid by the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, The 39 Steps. This evening's jolly little tale begins with a murder, and then things get really serious and the danger begins. Now, before you get the wrong idea, let me make one thing clear. I abhor violence. That is why on this program, we use stabbing, shooting, and garroting only when they are absolutely essential to the plot, or when the whim strikes. Our play begins in a music hall, and the title is The 39 Steps. That's all I intend to tell you. You'll have to figure out the rest yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind attention and permission, I now have the honor of presenting to you one of the most remarkable men in the world, Mr. Memory. Every day, he commits to memory 50 new facts. 50, ladies and gentlemen. Facts from history, geography, newspapers, and scientific books. Millions and millions of them, and he remembers them all. Test him, ladies and gentlemen, test him. Ask him any question you like, and he will answer you fully and freely. Mr. Memory.
Thank you.
Question, please. A question from anyone in the audience. Ladies first.
Where's my old man been since last Saturday?
On the booze.
In the quad.
Out with his bit.
Serious question, please.
What won the Derby in 1921?
Mr. Jack Jones, humorist, with Steve Gang Who Up. Won by length at odds 6-1. Second and third, Craig and Aaron and Lamora. Am I right, sir?
Right.
Thank you very much. Question, please. Do not hesitate. Another question, please.
This is Pippin Poultry.
How many races did Mick the Miller win?
How old is Mae West?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Who was the last British heavyweight champion of the world?
Henry VIII.
My old woman.
Bob Fitzsimmons. He defeated Jim Corbett, heavyweight champion of America at Carson City, Nevada, in October 1897. He was then 34 years of age. Am I right, sir?
Right.
What causes Pippin Poultry?
How many races did Mick the Miller win?
How old is Mae West?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Where's my old man been since last Saturday?
Madam, he's been where you can't ask him silly questions.
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Miss Winnie Hill, sir?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Ah, gentleman from Canada. You're welcome, sir. Winnipeg, the third city of Canada and the capital of Manitoba. Distance from Montreal, 1,710 miles. Am I right?
Quite right.
What causes Pippin Poultry?
How many races did Mick the Miller win?
How old is Mae West? Gentlemen, please, you're not at home. For God's sake, play something.
Please, let me out of here.
Let the lady through. Stand back. Hold into my arm, miss. I'll get you out of this. Get back. Clear the aisles. This way. There you are. Now take a good deep breath.
Thank you.
You all right?
Yes, I think so. I had to get out of the theater, that's all.
A lot of people had that idea.
It wasn't the panic that frightened me. It was something else.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'm in trouble. Will you help me?
What kind of trouble?
I can't tell you. Can we go somewhere and talk?
Well, my flat is nearby.
May I come with you?
It's your funeral. Come on, there's a bus. Go in, miss.
Thank you.
Now, if I can find the light switch.
Oh no, don't turn on the lights. It'll be safer.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Will you pull down the blinds, please?
Very well. This just puts me doubly in the dark. My name's Richard Haney. Any objections to telling me yours?
No, it's Smith. Annabella Smith.
Smith? Really?
Is there anything wrong with it?
No, it's just an unusual name.
Do you want to know more about me? What do you think I do for a living?
Actress?
Not in the way you mean.
Chorus.
Certainly not. I'm a freelance.
Out for adventure, eh?
That's right.
Oh, I'm just gonna go answer the telephone.
Don't answer the telephone.
Why not?
Because I think it's for me. Just please don't answer.
Say, what's all this about? You said you were in trouble.
You don't believe me, do you?
I believe you're slightly hysterical.
Well, if I am, I have a good reason. I was the one who fired these shots in the theater tonight.
You? Why?
To create a diversion. I had to get away from that theater quickly. There are two men who want to kill me.
You should be more careful in choosing your friends.
You've got to believe me.
Why should anyone want to kill you?
You wouldn't understand.
Well, you're not making it easy for me. A mysterious woman pursued by a gunman sounds like a spy story.
That's exactly what it is. Only I prefer the word agent.
Agent? For what country?
Any country that pays me.
What is your country?
I have no country.
Ah, born in a balloon. I suppose you've come up here to dig some great big state secret.
No, I'm here to save a secret. It's a very important secret for this country. Not because I love England, but because it will pay me better. The very brilliant agent of a certain foreign power is on to the point of obtaining a secret vital to your air defense. I tracked two of its men at the music hall. Unfortunately, they recognized me, and that's why they're after me now.
You ever heard of a thing called persecution mania?
You don't believe me.
Frankly, I don't, Annabella.
Wait, very well. If you go and look out the window, you will see two men standing across the street. I'd hope it's shaken them off. Look, please do.
All right, I'll play your game a little further.
Oh, don't you see them? Don't let them see you.
By Jove, you're right. Two of them. They seem to be looking up here.
Come away from the window, please. Well, do you believe me now?
I suppose I must.
I'm going to tell you something which is not very healthy to know, but now that you've followed me here, you're in it as much as I am.
So it seems.
Have you heard of the 39 Steps?
No? What's that? A pub?
Never mind. But this much you must know. What you are laughing at me is true. These men are ruthless, and I'm the only person who can stop them. If they're not stopped, it's only a matter of days, perhaps hours, before the secret is out of the country.
Why don't you phone the police?
Because they wouldn't believe me any more than you did. And if they did believe me, how long do you think it would take to get them going? These men act quickly. You don't know the clever the chief is. The clever and merciless.
What's his name?
The chief goes by a dozen of names, and he can look like 100 of people. There's one thing that he can't disguise. The top part of his little finger on his right hand is missing. If you ever should meet a man with no top joint there, be careful, my friend.
Thanks. I'll make note of it. Meanwhile, what are you going to do?
I'm frightened.
You needn't be. What you need is a good night's rest.
Oh, yes, I do.
You're welcome to my bed. I'll get a shakedown on the couch.
Are you sure you don't mind?
Sleeping on the couch? Why, I've done it dozens of times.
No, being in danger.
I'm not quite convinced of that yet. Now, is there anything I can get you?
Yes. Have you a map of Scotland, please?
A map of Scotland. I have an atlas over here somewhere. If only I could find. Oh, yes. Here it is. You going deer stalking or just hiking?
There's a man in Scotland who I must meet, if anything is to be done.
I see. Are the 39 steps in Scotland by chance?
Perhaps I'll tell you tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Hanny.
Good night, Annabella. Pleasant dreams. Annabella! Annabella, was that you? Annabella, open this door! Annabella, will you open the door or do I have to break it down? Annabella, where are you?
Oh,
What's the matter?
they came through the window. One of them had a knife.
Annabella, you're bleeding. I'll call the doctor. It's dead. Annabella, how do I stop those men?
You've got to tell them. In a few days, they'll have the secret out of the country.
But how?
Kinrich, Professor Scotland.
What's there? Who's this professor?
They'll get you, like they did me.
Annabella! A ticket for Kinridge, please.
One, sir.
Yes, one, and hurry, please.
Ticket to Kinrich, Scotland. Coming right up. Here you are, sir.
All aboard?
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
Not by us, it ain't. Sit down, young fellow.
Thank you.
Papers, magazines, chocolates, cigarettes.
I wonder what won the 2 o'clock at Windsor.
I don't know. Let's get a paper.
Paper, please. The Dispatch.
What one?
Bachelor Bud, 7-4 odds.
Good? Not so good.
Hello? Look at this. Woman murdered in East and West End flat.
These dramas don't appeal to me.
Portland Mansions, Portland Place.
By the BBC. That's a nice, quiet place to sleep. What was she like? One of the usual, another blonde?
A well-dressed woman of about 25 found with a knife in her back. The tenant, Richard Haney, is missing. The police are hot on the trail and watching with careful eye all points of departure from London.
That's what they were doing, eh?
Who?
Scotland Yard. Those bobbies. I've seen them get on this train. Ask him plenty of questions, they would too.
Looky here. There's a picture of that Haney chap.
Let's have a squint at him. Rough looking a lot, ain't he?
Excuse me.
Say, young fellow, where are you going? Don't you like that seat?
I do, thank you, but I just remembered something.
In a bit of a hurry, wasn't he?
Excuse me, but I have to do this.
Nothing in here, Chief, except a man grabbing a bit. Let's go down the end and we'll double back.
I'm not accustomed to strange men barging into my compartment, let alone kissing me.
I assure you that I'm no stranger than most, and kissing you was a way of hiding, not introducing myself, but I'm afraid that they'll be back and I might be compelled to do it again.
Really? Well, I'm not interested. Now will you please go?
I can't.
What? Why not?
It isn't safe.
Listen to me. Are you going, or shall I have to call the conductor?
No, don't do that. I just want your help. You see, my name is Richard Hanny.
Henny, why you're the man the police are looking for?
Yes, but I'm innocent, I swear. Listen, you've got to help me. It's terribly important that I be free for the next few days. You will help me, won't you?
Yes, of course I will.
That's fine.
You say the police are on this train looking for you.
Yes, that's why I forced my way in here.
And just how am I supposed to help you?
They're looking for a man traveling alone. If I stay here with you, they'll think we're together and just pass us by.
How clever you are.
You'll do it?
Yes, of course.
Say, you're all right. What's your name?
I'm Pamela Stewart.
Pamela. That's rather pretty.
Thank you.
There they are. Now remember, I'll sit here and pretend to read. You do the talking.
All right. Come in.
Excuse me, have either of you seen a man pass here in the last few minutes? Young fellow, smooth shaven.
Why, no. Wait, are you the police?
That's right, miss.
This is the man you want. He barged his way in here and told me his name is Richard Hanny.
Why?
Come here, you.
Let go of me.
Are you Richard Hanny?
Yes, and thank you very much, Miss Stewart.
Well, you didn't expect me to harbor a murderer, did you?
I'm not a murderer, and I hope you just might give me the chance to prove that to you.
We'll see about that. Come on, Hanny.
Certainly, gentlemen. I'll go with you willingly. In fact, I'll lead the way.
Grab him.
Open that door.
He's holding it from the other side.
Here, let me try.
Together now. 1, 2, 3.
Where is he?
Where did he go?
There he is, down the passageway.
Come back here. Stop.
Have you got him?
He jumped off the train.
Well, then he's probably lying dead in a ditch.
No, the last I saw of him, he was on his 2 feet and running like a rabbit.
We will return to the 39 steps after a word from our sponsor.
Air travel has come a long way since passengers crouched in open cockpits, bundled to the eyes. Now, comfort makes its greatest advance in the history of flight. Imagine an airplane so perfectly air-conditioned that even the faintest trace of tobacco smoke is filtered from the atmosphere you breathe. Gracious stewardesses serve you cocktails and champagne dinners aloft, and pilots with years of experience in the friendly skies guide you smoothly to fascinating destinations just hours away. Mount Rushmore, the Statue of Liberty, and San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, just to name a few. On North by Northwest Airlines, the world leader in air travel, first class is the only service we offer. So come fly with North by Northwest and get a real picture of how wonderful the world can be. Call North by Northwest Ticket Office or see your travel agent today.
That was beautifully put. And now, back to the 39 steps.
Hanny escapes paper, Hanny escapes paper, extra special. Hanny escapes from the police, paper, extra paper.
2 days have passed, and Richard Hanny, wanted for a murder he did not commit, is still at large. Determined to discover the secret of the 39 steps, he's made his way to Scotland. The driver of a donkey cart is giving him a lift, and he is now on the last leg of the journey, the outskirts of the village of Aughnaskelch.
Are you going to stay long in Aughnaskelch, lady?
Well, that depends. I'm looking for work. Do you suppose I could find something?
I have my doubts, laddie. Out in this Slach's might leave small village. What do you do?
I am a chauffeur.
Well, I'm thinking you better try somewhere else then.
Oh, I see. But aren't there any newcomers that might need a chauffeur?
Aye, now wait a minute. Come to think about it, I did hear of something about a retired professor who lives in the big house on the edge of the moors.
A professor. Yes, that's it. I can try it anyhow.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see the master, please.
And what name shall I say, sir?
He wouldn't know my name. You might ask him if he knows a Miss Annabella Smith.
Yes, sir.
Is that someone for me, George?
Oh, yes, Professor.
How do you do?
How do you do? My name is, Hammond. I come from London, from Annabella Smith.
Oh, well, do come in, please. You must be tired. We can talk in the library.
Yes, of course.
Go right in, please.
Thank you.
Sit down. Will you have a drink?
No, thank you.
Well, now what did you want to see me about, Mr. Hannay?
Hannah, you know me?
Yes, I suppose it's safe to call you by your right name now. What about our mutual friend, Annabella?
She's been murdered.
I know. Poor girl. The police are looking for you.
Yes, but I didn't do it.
Oh, of course you didn't. But why come all this way to Scotland to tell me about it?
I believe she hoped to come see you about some air ministry secret. She was killed by a foreign agent who was trying to steal it.
Did you tell you what this forging agent looked like?
She told me only one thing. She told me that the top of his little finger is missing.
On which hand, Mr. Hannay?
On the left, I believe.
Are you sure it wasn't on the right?
It might have been.
Like on my hand, Mr. Hannay?
It's you! You're the one she...
The one she was trying to warn you against. The chief. You misunderstood her. She meant for you to kill me, not bring me information.
What are we gonna do about it?
See, that's just the point. What are you gonna do? You see, I live here as a respectable citizen. You must realize that my whole existence would be jeopardized if it became known that I'm not quite what I seem. You understand my position?
Yes, quite.
Mr. Hannay, why have you come here? Why have you forced me into this difficult position? I can't lock you up in a room or something like that. There's my wife and daughters to think of. And what makes it doubly important that I shouldn't let you go is that I'm just about to transfer some very vital information out of the country.
What?
Oh, yes, I've got it already. I'm afraid poor Annabella would have been too late in any case.
Well, that's that, I suppose.
If only it were that simple, but it seems to me that we have some unfinished business to attend to.
And what's that?
I have a small revolver in here. Pretty little thing, isn't it? Suppose I left you alone with this. Tomorrow's newspapers could then announce that the Portland Place murderer had taken his own life.
You want me to kill myself? You're mad. I won't do it.
Then I'm afraid you've left me no alternative. You should have stayed in London, my friend. Oh, George?
Yes, Professor.
I want your help, please. There's a little job for us inside. We'll carry Hannah to the garage. When it gets dark, we can drop him off on the road somewhere.
Where is he, sir?
Behind that table.
Here, sir.
Yes, pick him up and...
I'm sorry, sir, but there's no one here.
What?
You can see for yourself.
Why, I shot him. The body was lying there on the floor.
The body, sir, seems to have disappeared.
Get out of the road, please. What do you mean by standing in front of my car? You might have been killed.
Sorry, lady. Just wanted a lift. Would you mind? Well, Miss Stewart, how do you do?
What are you doing here? My name? What are you doing
Richard Hannay is the name. I believe we've met on a train, wasn't it?
here? Yes, I think so.
And if I remember correctly, you handed me over to the police, didn't you?
Get away from me.
Don't worry, I won't hold it against you.
That's very kind of you.
What are you doing in Odnashalak?
I live here.
Charming place, isn't it? Do you know where the local police station is?
Of course I do.
Well, take me there, and hurry, please.
Well, I suppose you know what you're doing.
Oh, yes. You see, I know who killed Annabella Smith.
Is that so?
The same man who shot me a few minutes ago.
Shot you? Where?
Right in the cigarette case. See, there's a hole in one side of it. Funny little thing, cigarette cases. If I hadn't been carrying it about in my breast pocket, the hole would have been in my chest. And to think of it, only last week I was trying to quit.
Just who was this arch villain?
A gentleman called the Professor.
No, you don't mean Professor Bartlett.
I didn't stop to inquire his last name.
Oh,
Come now. It isn't as funny as all that.
do you actually mean you're going to the police with this story that Professor Bartlett shot you? That he is the one who killed the woman you're accused of killing.
Of course. Why not?
And you expect them to believe it, I suppose.
Well, you don't, evidently.
No, neither will they. Professor Bartlett, a murderer? Why, he's one of the best liked men in the village and a very good friend of the sheriff. I'm sure the sheriff will be interested in your story.
Yes, I see your point. And it hadn't occurred to me. Stop the car, please. I'm getting out.
Oh, no, you're not. You said you wanted to go to the police. Well, that's where you're going. And if you touch or make a move to jump out, I'll turn this car into a ditch.
Well, aren't you a sweet little thing?
Now you just sit tight, Mr. Henney, and don't make any sudden gestures. We're going rather fast.
You haven't the nerve, of course.
Haven't I? Just trust me.
All right. I will.
Don't touch that brake.
Hang on! Where are you? You all right?
Quite all right. Thank you.
You fool. Why did you swerve? We might have been killed.
Hello there.
There's someone coming. Keep down.
Let go of me. Hello, hello. Over here. Richard Hannay.
Why you?
Grab that man.
All right, Hannah, we got you. Don't try to fun a business.
Stand up.
Yes, of course.
Are you the police?
We've been looking for you.
Put the handcuffs on him. One on him and the other on girl.
Hey, what are you doing?
We are handcuffing you to your friend here.
Now see what you've done.
Listen, You can't do this. I don't even know this man.
Get in the cab, both of you.
Will you please move over?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I am. Ow! My wrist.
You asked me to move, and if I move, you move with me. It's a scientific fact that when two people are handcuffed together,
Officer, may I be chained to this man?
Aye, you must, and keep quiet about it.
Wait a minute. Where are you taking us? This isn't the way to the sheriff's office.
Just don't worry yourself about where we're going.
It's the real head we're going to see, the chief.
would you like to have a small bet with me, Pamela Stewart?
All right. I'll have it with you, Sherlock.
I'll lay you 100 to 1 that the man they call the chief has a top joint of his little finger missing. Am I right, gentlemen?
You shut your mouth and we'll shut it for you.
You see, Pamela, I win. They're taking us to your charming old friend, the professor.
What are we stopping for?
A whole flock of sheep are crossing the road.
Blow the horn. Maybe that'll scare them.
Nottingham, they won't move an inch. Oh, come on, we'll have to get out and show them off. Come on, get moving. Come on, come on. Go, 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 go.
Now's our chance. We'll make a run for it. When I say jump, jump and run for your life.
But suppose they catch us.
Come on, jump.
Hey, look! They're getting away!
There they go, give it to them.
They're shooting at us.
Come on, run for it.
We shall return to the thrilling final act of the 39 steps following this break for station identification. This is WBFR in New York City. We now return to WBFR Playhouse of the Air's presentation of the 39 steps. I'm glad to see so many of us are still with us. So many of you are still with us. Oh dear, I see we won't be ready for another 60 seconds. However, thanks to our sponsor's remarkable foresight, we have a message that will fit in here nicely. Have you been looking for a vacation spot that's tailor-made for good times? Experienced travelers prefer the Bates Motel for its special personality, quiet dignity, and friendly charm. This new, completely modern motel offers accommodations with the latest improvements, including insulated walls, metal furniture, box springs, Venetian blinds, carpeted floors, and free radios and parking directly in front of the 12 guest rooms, pleasantly air-conditioned in the summer and snugly heated in the winter. Each room features a private tiled bath and an abundance of hot water. Nothing old-fashioned, but hospitality that even Mother would say is second to none. The Bates Motel is truly an experience you will treasure for the rest of your days. Just call prompt for teletype reservations. We now return to the 39 steps. When we last left Hanny and Pamela, they were still running for their lives through the Highlands of Scotland. Well, they're still running. Here they come now.
Please, don't run so fast. You're hurting my wrist. I can't go any further. I've lost my shoe.
There are 20 million women on this island, and I'm chained to you. All right, then. Fine. Go ahead and sit down for a minute.
Have we lost those men?
It's as black as pitch on this moor. They'll never find us now.
You know, this is all very silly. You can't escape. What chance have you got handcuffed to me?
Keep that question for your husband, if you get one.
Or why don't you just give yourself up?
To whom?
To Scotland Yard.
Thank you, but it's a little impractical at the moment. I told you the truth on the train, and I'm telling it to you now. There's a dangerous conspiracy against this country, and I'm the only man who can stop it. They were taking us to their boss, and God help us if they ever catch us again.
I see. You're still sticking to your Penny Dreadful spy story.
Oh, all right. Very well then, I'm just a plain common murderer who stabbed an innocent defenseless woman in Portland Place, London. I don't know how innocent you may be, but you're a woman, you're defenseless, and you're alone on this desolate moor in the dark, manacled to a murderer who'd stop at nothing to get you off his hands. If that's the situation you prefer, then have it, and you're welcome.
Well, I'm not afraid of you.
Why not? For all you know, I may murder a woman a week. So listen to a bit of advice. Do everything I tell you and do it quick.
You big bully.
Gesundheit. I like your pluck, but you keep a civil tongue in your head. Otherwise, I might feel my next killing was a bit overdue. All right, on your feet now.
Where are we going?
I see some lights over that way. We'll do a little investigating.
What kind of place do you think this is?
Well, I don't know. It looks like an inn. Now, remember to back me up on everything I say or do. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now stay close to me and hold my hand. It'll hide the handcuffs. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the King's Head Tavern. And what can I do for you and the lady?
We had an accident with our car a few miles back.
That's too bad. Now, you want to stay the night, I suppose.
Yes, we do.
Will it be 2 separate rooms or 1?
2 separate rooms.
One room, please. One.
Well, which?
1. Thank you.
1. And what's the name?
Hawkinson. Henry Hawkinson and Mrs. Hawkinson.
Well, come along, Mr. and Mrs. Hawkinson. The room is at the top of the landing.
Nice place you have here.
Thank you. Here's the room.
Thanks very much.
Well, good night to you.
Oh, wait. Please, you mustn't go.
What's the matter? Is there anything wrong?
Well,
Of course there's nothing wrong. She wants to tell you something. That's all.
yes.
You see, we're a runaway couple.
Are you now?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we've been running all night. If anyone inquires for us, you won't give us up, will you?
Of course not. I was young myself once. Good night.
Good night. I'm sorry, Pamela.
Of all the outrageous things, listen, you don't expect I'm going to spend the night in this room with you.
Personally, I don't see how you can't help yourself.
I didn't ask to come with you.
And I didn't invite you, but here we are.
Well, aren't you afraid of the men will find us?
I'm not thinking of that so much as a way to get out of these handcuffs.
Oh, I have a nail file in my pocket. Maybe that'll help.
That would be dandy. If you filed 24 hours a day, 10 years from now, we might be free. Imagine tied to you for 10 years. It's a horrible thought.
I've had enough of your insults. I'm going to tell the innkeeper the whole story.
You want me to be hanged for a murder I didn't commit?
As long as you hang, I don't care whether you committed it or not.
What a bloodthirsty creature you are. Haven't you any pity?
Nope.
Ow! What are you up to now?
I'm trying to file the handcuffs.
Don't jab me in the wrist that way. I don't like it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're going about it in a very amateurish fashion anyway. I can see you know nothing about filing handcuffs.
At least I'm trying to do something.
Well, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to try to get some sleep. I haven't had any for 48 hours.
Well, I'm not the least bit tired.
You don't mind if I stretch out on this chair, do you?
Not at all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. But I don't see how you can sleep at a time like this.
Watch me.
Listen, did you hear that? There's a car out there.
It's just your imagination.
was not my imagination. I heard a car. Well, alright, if you don't care.
I don't care. I just don't care.
It's early the following morning. Richard Haney stirs restlessly in the armchair, rubbing his sleepy eyes. Suddenly, he jumps up from the chair, staring down at the handcuffs, now dangling from his wrist. Pamela Stewart has freed herself and sits across the room.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkinson.
How did you get free?
Oh, it was very simple. A little. Hide your beauty.
I suppose you filed the handcuffs?
No, I picked the lock. I was trying to do the same for you, but the file broke.
Say, what's wrong with you? Why are you being so nice? You don't feel ill or anything, do you?
No, why should I?
Why didn't you leave? You were very anxious to last night, if I remember correctly.
Well, something happened last night that convinced me that you've been telling the truth. When I got free, I went downstairs. That car I had imagined before belonged to our pursuers. They were sitting downstairs when I got there.
Did they see you?
No, I hid behind the counter. They asked the innkeeper about this.
What did she say?
She said she hadn't seen us. Then they ordered something to eat. Then while they were eating, they talked a lot about the 39 steps.
39 steps?
And don't ask me what it means because I don't know. But they said the professor was clearing out of the country.
And he has got the secrets. Did they say how soon he was leaving?
No, but they did say that he was going to London to pick up someone at the music hall.
39 steps, London Music Hall. It doesn't make any sense. Which room are these men in?
Oh, they're about 4. They left about 4 or 5 hours ago.
What? You let them go after hearing what they said? 4 or 5 precious hours wasted. Oh, you idiot.
Don't speak to me like that.
I'm accused of murder, and the only way I can clear myself is to expose those spies.
Then why don't you go to Scotland Yard?
What's the use? You said so yourself. They wouldn't believe me.
Well, then why don't I go to Scotland Yard?
Why not? They'd listen to you.
Of course they would.
Come on, we'll get the next train for London.
You wish to order now, sir?
No thank you. I'm waiting for someone.
I beg your pardon, sir, but your face looks familiar. Are you someone famous?
No, I'm not. Bring me a bottle of ale, will you?
Very good.
Make that 2, please.
Yes, miss.
Pamela, sit down. What happened? Did you go to Scotland Yard?
Yes. And prepare yourself for shock. They checked every single possible channel. But the Air Ministry is positive there are no papers missing that would be possible interest to spies.
That's incredible. Are you sure?
Well, that's exactly what they said.
Don't know what to make of it.
I think you've been tricked.
Oh, it certainly is very bewildering.
Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. Really, I am. Look, I think you'd better go now.
Go where?
Any place. Leave the country. I'll help you. Oh, I know it sounds funny, but somehow I couldn't bear the thought of them catching you again.
Why, Pamela?
I guess I just changed my mind about you. That's all. I suppose you're as vain as a peacock and I couldn't stand you for about any length of time, but there's something else.
Well, you know, if I weren't in this jam, I'd...
What?
Nothing. What's that tune you're whistling?
That's silly one of yours. Must have picked it up.
Wait a minute. Pamela, you're brilliant.
Me? What did I do?
That tune. Now I remember where I've heard it before. And I know where we have to go.
Where?
Follow me.
Here are your seats, sir. First two on the aisle.
Thank you. Sit down, Pamela.
This is silly. The show's almost over.
Be quiet. I'm just playing a hunch. That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind permission and attention, I now have the honor to present to you one of the most remarkable men of the world. I present Mr. Memory.
Pamela, look in the box to the right of the stage. You see the tall man sitting in the front? It's the professor himself.
Gotta get out of here before they see you.
No, sit down. Listen.
Every day, he commits to memory 50 new facts, and he remembers every one of them. Facts from history, geography, from newspapers and scientific books. Millions and millions of them, down to the smallest detail. Test him, ladies and gentlemen. Ask him any question.
Pamela, I've got it.
Got what?
Of course, there are no papers missing. All the information's inside Mr. Memory's head.
I still don't understand.
Don't you see the details of that Air Ministry secret were borrowed, memorized by this man, and then replaced before anyone could find out? That's why the professor's here, to take Mr. Memory out of the country after the show.
When did Florence Nightingale die?
How tall is the Empire State Building?
How old is Mae West? Pardon me, sir, but there are some gentlemen wanting to speak to you.
Who, me?
Are you Richard Haney?
Well,
You're under arrest.
Wait, officer, look, there's something here you ought to know.
Come along quietly.
But that man on the stage.
Don't cause any trouble and spoil people's entertainment. Question, please. Do not hesitate.
Wait a minute! Mr. Memory! Mr. Memory! What are the 39 steps? Come on, answer up. What are the 39 steps?
39 Steps is an organization of spies collecting information on behalf of the Foreign Office of...
It's the man up there in the box who shot him. Stop that man.
Stop that man! Stop him!
Keep your seats, please. There's no need for alarm. No cause for alarm. Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor?
I want to see Mr. Memory, please. Where is his dressing room?
It's number 5, but you can't go in now.
I'm afraid we have to. Detective, have you a pencil and a piece of paper?
Yes.
I want you to write down everything you hear. Everything.
Now listen, I don't know what this is.
As he tells you. Please.
I'm going to prove to you that the man who shot Mr. Memory is the same who murdered the woman I'm accused of killing.
What is it?
We want to see Mr. Memory. How is he, doctor?
Pretty bad. Did they get the man who shot him?
We got him all right. What's this all about? Oh.
Mr. Memory, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Memory, there's something I'd like you to tell us, please.
Yes.
What was the secret formula you were taking abroad?
Would it be all right for me to tell you, sir? It was a big job to learn it. The biggest job I ever tackled. I don't want to throw it all away.
It'll be quite all right.
The first feature of the new engine is greatly increased Russian ratio of compression represented by R minus over R to the power of gamma, where R represents the ratio of compression and gamma. Seen in the end evaluation, the axis of the two lines of cylinders. This device renders the engine completely silent. Am I right, sir?
Quite right, old chap.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm glad it's off my mind, at least. This way, please. We can pick up the police car on the corner.
The police car, where are you taking us?
To Scotland Yard, of course.
Scotland Yard?
You can't do that. You heard the man said he didn't kill anybody.
Easy now, easy. He'll be all right. All we want to do is put the story on the record.
Oh,
Oh, that's better.
Nothing to worry about at all. He'll be a free man in an hour, Miss Hannay.
Miss Hanny? What are you talking about?
Uh, I'm sorry. I thought.
Miss Hannon, that would be just fine. That would. We were together for one day and we fought 24 hours.
20. You were asleep 4 hours.
Could you imagine what it would be like? Fight for breakfast, fight for lunch, fight for dinner. One long, drawn-out battle for the next 30 or 40 years.
Oh, 40 years. Do you think we could even keep it up that long? I mean, really.
Well, we could try.
You will be relieved to hear that Pamela and Hanny's story ended happily. They did not get married. And that concludes WBFR Playhouses of the Airs, the 39 Steps, our offering for tonight. But I've not yet reached the end of my rope. Next week, you will hear from me again, without a shadow of doubt. Put your suspicion to rest and join us each and every week for what I assure you will be something rich and strange that will leave you spellbound. Until next time, good evening.
And that's our show. Correct, kiddos?
Yep.
Everybody come on and take a bow. Everybody stand up and give a bow. Yeah.
Great job, everyone.
Great job. Yes, parents, feel free to chime in and say congratulations. That wasn't easy.
That was fun. Great accents.
Yes.
It's great to see everybody. Yeah.
I
It's
love
nice to see, like,
I
Go
love
ahead,
how
Jojo.
committed you guys were all.
yes.
We had
And
Lindsay.
you can see them acting a little bit behind the cameras.
All was fantastic. Okay, keep going, Kathy.
Oh no, it was just fun to see them like acting a little bit, in the cameras, and then I would look away and I just hear them. But it's fun that they were getting into it a lot. So fun. Thank you.
And Charlotte, tell us about what you want to do next. Tell us what's the next grouping of
Still
stuff you want to do.
looking for stuff. Still figuring it out. But this was very you guys did a great job, and it'll inform what we pick next. And if you guys have something you're interested in that you want to do, then you just let me and Jojo know and we'll look into it.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We hope to see you next week at radio play class or acting classes or whatnots. Keep joining Hey JoJo Plus and keep doing all these different opportunities because it's awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, parents. And we'll be in touch soon. For now, we're signing off.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.